Baton of the Office of Extension and Continuing Education of UP is also here. I am Ana Razel Ramirez, outgoing Information Director of UP Visayas. And of course, joining us, I'd like to welcome the strong force of the UP alumni in Antique. I can see faces there, of course, Lord and Sasha, and of course, Vice Mayor Gombok, part of the UP, the strong force of the UP alumni in Antique. Kadamo dis amon. Of course, I cannot just name everyone, but I saw faces that I know are familiar. We also have the able faculty and staff. And we have Ma'am Ursula Bautista, the authorized representative of the Bautista family, joining us this morning. And Lord, I mentioned Lord earlier. And of course, the staff that really of UP Visayas, the Antique team that facilitated all this. We have Miss Lani here, and our Lani Hedospan, and our staff of the Vice Chancellor for Planning and Development. From the University of the Philippines, we are led by the Executive Secretary of the Office of the Chancellor, Ms. Lois Hamolo, leading the pack also today. We brought with us the UP bus to signify our coming. And finally, we are here, the physical presence of the University of the Philippines, Visayas, or the University of the Philippines starts today, October 4, 2020. So yearly, you have to celebrate it with us, the anniversary of the UP presence in Antique. So So may I proceed? I'd like to call Professor Martin G. Herodepa, the main man in this Antique construction, Antique facilitation. The Vice Chancellor for Planning and Development will give his opening remarks.
It's really a very emotional thing for me because bata ko man, no? I never expected to be Vice Chancellor, and I never expected that Antique will happen. So it was during the term, of course, of Chancellor Babaran that it happened. But of course, most of this hula baloo and rejoicing that we are experiencing now is also because of Deputy Speaker Loren Ligaria. If I remember right, I think Chancellor Babaran was called to meet with the DSL, as she is famously known now, and the Governor in February of 2019. And there was already the plan and the budget for the creation of the UP Extension Campus in Antique. Okay. In May, when we celebrated the alumni politicians that we had to celebrate their winning their last elections of 2019, we met the Vice Mayor of Pandan, Vice Mayor Gumbok, and I was already telling the Chancellor that we really have to prepare for the UP Extension Campus in Antique because the budget is going to be released in 2019. And the Chancellor also gave me that opportunity and told me to go and find a lot. Okay, that's the most problematic part of it. We have the money. We have about 70 million, 50 million for the building, and 20 million for MOE and personnel, but we don't have a lot. Wala kita lupa. And so on June 18 and 19, we went to Antique. That's the first trip to Antique of my team. I brought with me tatlong architects, and we went to see Vice Mayor Gumbok and see what are the prospects of, acquiring a lot for UP in Antique. Of course, we have thought of Pandan. We also have thought of Kulasi. But first we went to Pandan. We visited, first and foremost, Pandan Elementary School, because that was one of the suggestions that was given us. Okay, because in August later in August, we realized that wala din galing lupa ang gobyerno. But then I was hoping that from the 50 million, we could get some budget for the lot, to pay for the lot. So I was trying to be brave, looking for the lot, meeting Vice Mayor Gumbo, eventually meeting Mayor Sanchez. So we went to Pandan Elementary School, we saw the prospect, we tried to measure, parang maliit masyado. Okay, and of course the school needs it also. And then we went to the ice plant. We were told that the ice plant property is also being sold by the owners. At that time, by serendipity, we met Miss Gigi Bautista, who said that they are okay with the selling of the lot. But I just threw the idea that, sabi ko, ma'am, nagpapatol man kami sa donation. And then, I'm sure she did not consult her sisters, who are the actual owners of the lot. She said, yes, ay gusto namin yan. So there was a spark of hope. After that, I remember clearly, we went to have lunch in the Joso farm here of Mr. Joso, who owns also the library here. And we had more discussions. And we went also to two other areas here. We went to Bagumbayan, I think, and another lot near the parking, the bus terminal. We also went to another barangay, I cannot remember the name. Now those are areas that were being up for sale. So we thought that we might grab it, and we were asking how much is the going price, etc. But nevertheless, we were so excited about Pandan because I realized that Pandan is very close to the two other provinces, in the eastern side of Panay. So it's very accessible to Calibo, and there's also the Aklan State University there, and it's also easy to access Pandan if you are from Capiz or Rojas. Okay. Now, we went the next day on the 19th, we proceeded to check out Kulasi. Ay may parente ako sa Kulasi. Mga imoteya, may parente magaling ni SP Swiki. Tiyo nyo man, tiyo ko man. So we went to check out the lot because it's near Lipata Port. And the Chancellor said, that would also a nice site on Lipata area because may port kami. And fisheries is also our major program. And that would really coincide very well with our plans in case we set up in Kulasi. The lot was also for sale. After that, we went home. And then in August, but in August, we met with DSL. We met with former Governor Perez, we met with the President, and we told him about the prospects of the land. So, akin ang porta, pero wala akong tigapong lupa. And then I was told by DSL that we should ask the provincial government if they have a lot in San Jose, but I thought that's too near UP, and hindi maging extension campus. There was another prospect in Davao, but also too near Miagao. Ito hindi maging extension campus ang dating sila. But anyway, so wala lupa. The President told me, why don't you ask DNR? I said, if I ask DNR, what that means to say the UP extension will be in the mountains. Because most of the lot of DNR are found in the mountains. No? Most of the lands of the DNR are found in the mountains. So what happened was we tried to talk to the President in August and then made some presentations in September about the lot in Antique, the prospect of having a lot in Antique. And then he said, sir, we have a donation, ready donations. I was communicating with Bautista sisters for that matter. And we were instructed to go back to Pandan again and check the elementary school and Barangay Duyong Elementary School. And of course I said, I think we should really check again the Bautista property. And after, again, the trip, we went to proceed and to present to the President the plans already because we are pressed for time. So what happened was, in October, the President said, okay, we will accept the donation. And so immediately, nung nagtitintihin pa ako, hindi ko rin kilala mga Bautista ngayon sa Amerika. And then meet ko lang si Ma'am Gigi, so hindi ko malo kung masusuplahan din sila. Mag-stricto ini sila. So kada sulat ko, makadugay, hindi ako magsulat sa totoo lang. Hinawa ko nga compose, kasi mas ma-offend ko ng donor. Kaya ako yan daw kapatigayon mo, no? But anyway, so the conversation was really smooth and everybody was really excited until Mrs. Ordinario already gave me a lap plan on her own, without asking her which part do you want to give us, etc. She gave me a sketch na amuni ang ako nito may 500 square meters. So that's how and so, though matumbo ka, because imo mali pinabudayan, but at the same time, though may makita ka gina umento, wala nga kaobra ka, kag may request ka gid, sa Bisaya pa. So, manami, hindi ka magligay, no? Kita ka magkinaraya, karaya mo na ko gagawin balang eh. So anyway, we fast track to the activity after the President agreed on the initial design in October. In December, we already had a bidding. So on December 2, we came here to check again the lot because the bidders, the prospective bidders are already coming to see and check the lot. So December 2, before Christmas, we came here. And then, again, value of communication, series of talk again with the President and his office, with the Office of the Legal, until we finally were able to frame the deed of donation that we are signing today. Wala ko kabalo kasi Mrs. Batara, one of the owners, was here all the time. And during it was only last Tuesday, September 29, when we had already the survey for the lot to be donated, that I met her. Hindi mo siya kulbaan. Kag namin sa amang istorya, kag namin gid nga na-meet mo ba ang donor, no? Kag makita mo, I mean, it's different when you communicate, by messenger or some other, non-personal means. Wala hindi siya kung ma-meet mo, kaya makita mo nga, ang ilang heart dali is really for pandan. Nga gusto naman ang pandan. Pandan, ang wala lang ba kung kailan namin kitang pandan, kaya strategic siya. Strategic siya kay may-ari na rin malapit sa Pandan Bay, malapit man kita sa Northern Panay National Park, mountain ranges. Malapit man kita sa Aklan State U, dira sa may Aklan, especially dira sa may Ibahay, dito man sa may Bama. At the same time, ang UP, may punong man sa Batan. Lapit na lang. So, in other words, naman namin ingari kita dali sa Pandan, namin ingari kita sa mga aga para mag-witness sa pag-sign sa deed, absolute deed of donation sa lupa para sa UP Extension Campus. Again, I'd like to thank Deputy Speaker Loren Ligarda, iya in brainchild, at yung nakakagalawa. And of course, I'd also like to thank UP System Administration, si President Concepcion, for agreeing to really put Pandan in the map already with UP's presence here. I'm so excited for more. And of course, I'd like to thank Chancellor Babaran, who has been very supportive sa aming effort para mabutang na gari ang programa ngayon. So kung magpot ka muna ng mga programa, storyahan talaga sa lain na ba ng tiyempo. Pero sa mga aga, salamat gid sa inyong pagkatudiri para mag-witness ini isa ka momentous na occasion, historic na occasion, na I'm sure at-engage sa kagipusoon ninyo sa Pandan. Kabay nga, kasubo nga welcome kami sa mga Bautista siblings nga butanang sa UP diri, kabay nga kamo sa Bilog na Pandan, ang LGU, ang provincial government, tapos man sa kagugot man sa kagipusoon nga welcome kami diri. Welcome everyone to this morning's affair. Salamat po.
Storya nga magputa ng UP Extension School dyan sa Pandan, hay nijarin niya natuman. Diyan na dyan sa pagpulikid ng may pahangang tagipusoon. Niya kung hindi dahil kanana, yung mga project na kinanglanin natin para sa edukasyon ng ating mga kabataan, no other than our beloved Deputy Speaker, our very own Kasimama, Congresswoman Loren Ligarda. Palakpakan natin. kaduro ng mga projects ang ginatawagan natin ng ating pinalanggang Kasimanwa Deputy Speaker. Sa kadambuman nga na-realize ang farm to market road connecting Tamang Pandan to 7 hinterland barangays, no? Nga kadya, nasa tengah-tengah rin ang construction. The ecotourism road connecting poblasyon to Barangay Perfecta, Padjangan, Santa Ana, San Joaquin, Aracay, Maayos, Napuid. Palakpakan natin liwan si Deputy Speaker. Amoya ang handog ng ating pinalangga niya Kasimanwa, Deputy Speaker Lori Ligarda, na mapabago ang sitwasyon ng ating probinsya ng Antique. Duro-duro nga ng mga ayuda na sa bisig limaw sa may Manila para lang sa paghalungkat ng mga programa ng pagbuol ng pondo para matawan ng kahilingan ang buhay rin na ginahilag sa probinsya ng Antique. And today, this is a historic day. Another milestone for the people of Pandan. Durugin niya salamat. Kagabi, wala kita mo, tingin tayo ng tiyempo. Pascal Kamuran, bago, Lord, tawin mo kami ng tiyempo inaga. Para naman magbungagin ang kalipay na sabihin, wala tang balakid sa mga activities ng magahiwat inaga. At first, medyo na-late ako. Tingnan din sa MOA signing between DepEd, LGU, and the Pandan Multipurpose Cooperative in partnership para sa ating education, distant learning through radio and television. No? And today, pag-witness ng ating MOA signing between the donor of the land and, of course, to our beloved UP family and the local government unit. Medyo hindi ko ma-express ang aking feeling. Tumatumbo ako sa kalipay. Tingnan niya rin sa tiyang okasyon. Honorable Emmanuel Sweetie Palacios, in behalf of our beloved Governor, Rodora Dudut Kajao, Honorable Vice Governor Edgar Dinosta, University of the Philippines Chancellor Ricardo Babaran, sir, Vice Chancellor Martin Pinutipa, sir, my favorite, palagi na lang ito. Vice Mayor Monmon Kumbo, Dennis Vice. Isang kaniyang bayan members, Ma'am Yuning, Ma'am Gigi, Ma'am Ursula, Manayunday, Marundon, Sir Leo. We have also here Judge Maria Teresa Alcon. Thank you, ma'am. It is an honor to be with people without unquestioned concern and commitment for the people of the municipality of Pandan will be harvested and enjoyed. Your presence today has brought inspiration and hope for the Pandananians. The blessings you have given us are endless, unforgettable memories which we will remember and convey to our children and children's children forever. We are forever grateful to our very own Deputy Speaker, Congresswoman Lauren Ligarda of the Lone District of Antique for her undying love for the Pandananans to have envisioned this endeavor. To the Bautista family who became our channel of grace for donating the land where the UP Extension campus will be constructed, and to the University of the Philippines community for believing in the mission to help the Pandananans and the province of Antique, whose hope is to broaden their knowledge and education. We hope you will continue to remember Pandananans as your adopted people, and rest assured that we will forever place in our hearts and minds the compassion and greatness you have brought to us. In behalf of the local government unit of Pandan, the municipal officials, welcome to the municipality of Pandan Antique, with our continued prayers for your safety and enjoyment, and may the Lord God bless you abundantly as you continue to edify and prepare our youth to be self-reliant and become productive pillars of our society. Again, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am. Distinguished and honorable guests, good morning. I beg your forgiveness because the governor is currently in Manila and she's on official business, so you might wonder why I am called to talk in her behalf. I may be the luckiest public official in the entire province of Antique because both the governor and the congresswoman are my aunties. I call, alam mo naman dito sa probinsya puro kayo magkakapatid na halos, all of your relatives in one family or the other. I call the governor Nanay Dudud, and I call the congresswoman Tita Loren. Well, this particular tandem has brought an incredible surge of development financially, economically, educationally in the province of Antique like no other tandem has ever made it before. And this is perhaps the cornerstone of their programs and developments. Sa wakas, tol, magkakaroon na tayo ng UP dito sa Antique. Di ba? First and foremost, before all that, my estranged wife is a graduate of UP Dulungan. She's currently a lawyer. She's the regional legal officer of DepEd here in Iloilo. And my daughter, my only daughter, is also a graduate of UP Dulungan College of Journalism and College of Law. Something about your being a graduate of UP makes you form some sort of strict, incredible loyalty sa eskwelahan ng UP. Kasi I always make a joke of it kasi ako, ano lang ako ultimong graduate lang ako ng Ateneo de Manila Grade School at Sagrada College of Law at College of Arts and Sciences. And I always make it a deal na pinibiro ko ba yung mga mag-ina ko na ano ba naman itong yung piniliman na to, pag nag-date ka, walang mga upuan sa mga corridor, walang mga, and then, hindi ka lang na talagang they really are fighting for the, I understand because UP is the only public school in the Philippines which is widely known, really is widely known. You ask anybody from any country, what school did you graduate from? Ateneo, Lasal, UP. Wow, UP. Every time there is that particular consensus talaga. Well, sad to say, hindi ako nakapasok sa UP kasi hindi ako nakapasa ng UP LAE. To tell you the truth, there are two towns considered for the putting up of the UP Extension Campus. One of them is my hometown in Kulasi, and the other is here in Pangan. And wala namang problema. I respect and I acknowledge the choice of Tita Lauren in choosing Pangan over Kulasi. For her personal reasons, whatever, I respect that. Wala namang problema, basta ang UP andito sa Antique, period. That's it. Pero pakiusap lang ha, Mr. Chancellor Babaran, sir, Mr. Vice Chancellor Uncle, sir. Sa susunod ha, yung College of Law na extension office ng UP, ilagay mo sa Kulasi ha. Thank you very much for listening. In behalf of the Governor of the province, I bid you all good morning and welcome to the municipality of Pandan. Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good morning, Deputy Speaker. We can hear you.
Mayag na aga, kaninyong kanan. Good morning. Ito po ang inyong Inday Loren, Congresswoman Loren Legarda, Deputy Speaker representing Long District of Antique. And I welcome Alma Mater University of the Philippines in my hometown, Pandan, and my beloved home province of Antique. I am so grateful that no less than President Danny Concepcion supported my idea of a UP Visayas Extension Campus in Antique. Why is this so relevant and active? First, as offer of the expanded National Integrated Protected Area System, or ENIPAS, which is already a law declaring 94 protected areas all over the country. 2 years ago, when I was senator, it includes the Sibalom Natural Park in South Antique. It includes the Northwest Panay Peninsula, covering Lipaseco, exactly where Pandan is now, where extension programs on fisheries and entrepreneurship will be held, which will benefit not only my dear beloved beautiful hometown of Pandan, but also Libertad, Sebastian, Kulasi, of course Pandan, even the neighboring towns of Aklan, including Ibahan and Buruanga, and perhaps as far as Malay, and even Central Antique, for which we already have a proposed program of agriculture convergence under the Central Antique Agriculture Convergence Program that I discussed the other day with Secretary Dar of the DA and Undersecretary Chief Caballero yesterday, Saturday, in our phone meeting. Kausap ko po kayo ngayong umagang ito mula sa Maynila, kung saan ako na-lockdown mula nung Marso sa pandemic. Gusto ko makausap at magkasama kayo not on a virtual world, not online and not on phone, but in person. However, alam niyo ang solusyon ng COVID-19 pandemic na hindi naman pwede dito na naman nagabiyahe at umuwi. Kaya Ngayon na muna, ay boses ko na muna ang inyong maridinig sa napakaraming proyekto sa Pandan at sa buong Antique. Just so that you have information about this project that I have been working on for at least 3 or 4 years. It was way back, perhaps in 2013 or 2015, on my third and last term as senator, that I thought of having a UP Visayas program in Antique, knowing the importance of agriculture and fisheries in a coastal province like ours, so that programs available in Quezon, in Iloilo City, can be accessed by fisherfolk, experts, the youth, the academy, in the areas of the Northwest Panay Peninsula. And so, I discussed it with UP Visayas and discussed it with President Danicon. It was not easy, and it took me 2 years to get it going. And as chairman of the Committee on Finance, allocated a total of 70 million for the financial requirements for the initial offering of fisheries courses by UP Visayas in Antique under GAA 2019 under the UP system. 50 million has been allocated for capital outlay, meaning the building. 10 million for the MOE, meaning operational expenses, and 10 million for PS or personnel services. As someone who knows national budgeting and finance, I hope that the UP system, more particularly UP Visayas, utilizes this budget, because this will expire by December 31, 2020. I also asked the UP system to include this in their multi-year budget in the next of 2021, which we are deliberating on now. As I speak to you from Metro Manila, when lockdown is March, I continuously, as you see on Zoom and Facebook, work day in and day out for their province, especially for budgetary needs of our province, the region, and the country. For the Office of the Vice Chancellor for Planning and Development of UP Visayas, the Extension Campus will initially provide continuing education on fisheries and entrepreneurship. UP Visayas is still in the process of developing curricular programs which usually take quite a while to be approved, but we will make sure it is done. In the meantime, the operational budget was allocated for research and training, academic modules. And in this virtual world, we should not wait for the infrastructure to be finished, for the 10M, for materials to be utilized, because we can do that simultaneously for online fisheries and entrepreneurship training. I understand that the training program for academic year 2020 to 21 would include sugar production from the pasta, development of flexible learning materials for fisheries, higher education institutions in Antique, and upgrading food safety awareness and competence of sanitary inspectors and food business operators in Antique. May I also humbly suggest, when applicable, to look into the SSNE programs of our dear province. Whether it is the Patajong Weavers of Bagtason in Bukato, or the Barrio Bag Makers in Santa Rosario Multipurpose Cooperative, or even those who utilize all the weeds and the palms in our bulldogs to be able to come up with artisanal craft. This is the strength of our province because our natural resources are abundant. Skill and creativity are abundant. And all we need is to be able to level up the skills and teach micro-entrepreneurship to our people so that during this day of joblessness due to COVID, we will be able to encourage and empower our micro-entrepreneurs. Also in terms of fisheries, I have an ongoing program with the BIFAR for the distribution of fishing boats, of which Pandan and Northern Antique have benefited greatly. I also have a continuing program with the DTI for the Tuna Highway, because the whole length and breadth of our coastal area is abundant in tuna. At ang gusto natin ang makinabang ang mga mangingisda at hindi lamang ang mga middlemen para gumaan ang pamumuhay ng ating mga mangingisda at sayaman ng ating karagatan sa tuna at iba't ibang mga yamang dagat ay ito'y magtayo ng value added sa pagtatayo ko ng mga cold storage in partnership with DTI, shared services, facilities, and the BIFAR. Also, according to Vice Chancellor for Planning and Development, Professor Martin Enodepa, the contract of the construction project of the building in Pandan is 420 calendar days, with 119 days for design and 301 days for construction. I hope that this is followed and even can be expedited. The construction, I believe, will begin this month. The design still to be approved by UP President Danny Con. I saw the design. I hope it can be streamlined, made to look more sa inyong pag-donate ng lupa. Salamat sa ating collaboration with the University of the Philippines. The UP Extension campus in Antique will be a venue for off-campus fisheries offerings, research, public service activities of my dear alma mater. I would also like UP to please work in collaboration with our University of Antique, which has 5 campuses in our province. The nearest of which is also in the south, in the north, which is Piliao. This will align with the UPB hub for innovation, sustainability, institutional synergy, and impact translation agenda. For the information of those who are watching us on Facebook now and those present in Pandan, a principal author of the Philippines Innovation Act of 2019, I hope that this extension campus in UP, of UP, and the whole UP Visayas can implement and study the very important law on innovation that I authored. And in February of this year, the implementing rules and regulations were already signed, and therefore it is due for implementation. The extension campus will also provide an avenue of engage in collaborative researches with higher education institutions. That's why I mentioned UA. And bring UP and its universities closer to its unreached stakeholders. The facility will be useful in upgrading the quality and sustainability of fisheries education in the region. I'm so happy that Barangay Nauring in Pandan is the host barangay. Let us welcome UP into our beloved hometown. Let us welcome this higher learning institution that has been made comfortable with the big universities of the world, including Oxford, in the latest survey. I am happy that even some little part of this great educational institution that has honed my mind in the 1970s as a young student of UP. I am glad that there will be basic facilities for classrooms, laboratories, and even dormitories. It is said that this building could also be a potential revenue generation facility where scientific and technical fora,
Okay, she is at her closing part, but yeah. Okay, she's coming back.
Hello. Yes. I think I was.
Yes, Deputy Speaker, we can still hear you.
Hello. Can I speak?
Yes, ma'am, you can. We can hear you.
Sorry, the connectivity was cut, and so maybe I'm speaking too long. That's why my connectivity was cut. Anyway. So I know that this can also be a revenue generating area. And so everything just converges on this day. The legislation part of the Innovation Act, the EE-PAS of the Northwest Panay Peninsula, the law I authored 10 years ago, the Micro and Small and Medium Enterprises Law, and the provision for the building of this extension program and building. I would love to be with you today, but the pandemic has really changed the way we live and the way we work. But soon, when it is safer, I can fly there, and hopefully in the ground, not just the groundbreaking, but inauguration, I can be there. At this point, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Vice Governor Espinosa, of FG Emmanuel Palacio, Mayor John Sanchez, Vice Mayor Raymond Lombok, all our FB members of Pandan, all our legal barangay captains in Pandan, our DepEd School Division Superintendent Lisa Berion, whom I had a Zoom session with the supervisors of Antique that I'm also managing. I hope Lisa will be able to speak and tell her the kind of support that I am giving the education sector in Antique, where more than 230 million worth of classrooms is currently being built, where more than 50 million worth of computerization will be distributed to, where millions of pesos of Dole to Fund are being given out to young millennials, to youth, to the para teachers, and collaboration between DepEd and Dole, so that we can have a more efficient hybrid online learning, and principals and teachers can be assisted by qualified jobless youth. These are just some of the work and the innovation and the help that your congresswoman has been doing for the province insofar as education is concerned. I would also like to greet Chancellor Ricardo Bagaran, Vice Chancellor Martin Denodeca, Vice Chancellor Mary Ann Guzman, Dean Ramel Bautista, Director Ana Rosel Ramirez, Professor Alicia Mazo, happy to see you there, Professor Bedmar Panagito, and Ms. Kalawan, happy to see you there. And once again, thank you to Mrs. Yolanda Batara, Mr. Benvenuto Bautista, Mrs. Mary Joan Bautista, Mrs. Ursula Bautista Cook, Mrs. Dolores Ordinario, and the whole Bautista family for your kind and generous donation. And I hope I have not missed anyone, but I greet everyone, each one of you present there today. And I would like all of you to be safe, God bless, and I want each and every Antiqueño who may benefit from our fisheries extension program and entrepreneurship program to really learn, benefit, and operationalize all the concepts that our laws provide. In the meantime, I will hold for now, because when I speak, it is endless, because my passion is unending too, especially when it comes to helping the education sector, not just nationally, but more so in upgrading the status of quality education in my dear beloved province of Antique. I've not mentioned the projects I've done for University of Antique, which includes the bamboo facility we are building together with the DCI Shared Services Facility and the brick making facility for the extension program that we have built together with the DOST. So convergence, collaboration are the name of the game in Antique. There is unity in our province because we only do good. And we do good. And we ask all the politicians, all the leaders of the province, in all sectors, to continue helping each other to benefit each and every Antiqueño. As your leader, I will continue to be here for you in the years to come. And I am grateful for the continued love and support. And you can be assured of my continuing boundless energy, passion, devotion in giving you what you need that you have not had for the past decades. Durugin na salamat, palangga ako kamo.
Salamat, dear Deputy Speaker.
Good morning. I know it's getting late and I'm getting hungry myself. Anyway, I prepared a little bit of my message today, but I think, I'd rather have it.
Yeah, impromptu.
Impromptu. I think that's better for me. Okay. Here we are. A beautiful morning to get together to witness to witness this day, that everything in here today will be etched in everybody's memory, because this is something that I have never dreamed of on my eighth decade, that this will happen in our family. Well, life is a journey, and everybody have a story to tell. I just want to say, I just have a little story about this. Because just one day, that was 10 years ago. My sister daughter and I were just sitting with the manager of the land bank and just having a casual conversation. And real estate came up with the conversation. And of course, my sister daughter is a realtor, and that's her expertise. And then the manager said, "Ma'am, we have a property in here." And to make the story short, why not? My sister said, "Let's buy it." How much? $1 million. $1 million at that time, oh my God, that's just even, I can't even think of what $1 million is, during my time. Because my time, the 50 pesos that you have in my pocket, I feel already very rich, very rich in my time. But more than $1 million, it's just not just $1 million, but more than $1 million. Anyway, with the little money I have in that bank, in that particular day, my sister goes, "Let's buy it." And I go, "All right. What are we going to do about it?" And he said, "Well, something will come up." And, I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Because we can sell it and we'll get a profit." And then, but anyway, that was just our thinking a long time ago. And I said, things happen. Things happen for a reason. And, I think, I feel emotional when I think about this, because what we have is I owe it to my parents. Education. That's why today, after a book like this, we don't know what to do about it. But when they started talking about the school, and I said, "What school? It's not just an ordinary school. It's University of the Philippines." Isn't that a big deal? And my sister daughter, at one time, because I sent her to school, she really wanted to go to UP. But, that was meant to be. And like I said, everything happens for a reason. And today I can say, there is a reason for us to donate this piece of land, which, okay. But, my little sister, I think wrote something about this. That we never owned an inch of land. But because of education, we were able to procure this property. And because I think this was just given to us. It's simply a blessing that we were able to acquire this. And I said, why not? Let's donate. They only want 500 square meters. Let's go for it. And that's why today, I'm just very blessed, I think, that you, my brothers and sisters, have been good and been a supporter for me. And I'd like to mention this, and if I can enumerate each one. Don, Boy, Bing, Nene, Inday, Vicky, Gigi, Pam. Did I miss anybody? I'm glad I still can remember everybody's name. And today, frankly, I get emotional because tomorrow is the death anniversary of my father, Benvenuto Ferranco Bautista. my mother, Lolet, Patricia Tessa, they have been very supportive of nurturing us 9 siblings. So to you, Tay and I, this is for you. And I think you can say, Yuling, Nene, you have done something good, giving back to our beloved family. And to you, Mayor John and Vice Mayor Bonham, thank you for facilitating this. But most of all, I have to mention this first. You are a blessing to us. Thank you very much for making us very proud to be a part of a good cause. But most of all, I really think I have to thank somebody out there, the Almighty God, who gave us what we have now. And let's all go out and then celebrate more and have lunch.
Yes.
I'm getting hungry. And thank you everybody for being here to witness this momentous.
By Zoom a while ago, Congressman Lauren Villagarda. Not with us today is Governor Matiao, but she is well represented by Sangguniang Panlalibigans with Palacios. And of course, our Vice Governor is also here. Vice Governor Edgar De Lucia. I'd like to recognize the presence of our Mayor, Claribel E. Sanchez VI, our Vice Mayor, Raymond Donato Imbo, and all local officials who are here with us today. To our gracious donors, the Bautista family, maybe I'll mention the ones listed here because you really made us, you made UP's day today, starting today. Mrs. Yolanda Batana, of course, Mr. Romeo Ordinario, Mrs. Douglas Bautista Ordinario, and Mr. Benvenuto Bautista Batana. You heard our president a while ago. I'd like to acknowledge his support for this program. Our president, Danilo Concepcion. With us is the indefatigable Vice Chancellor for Planning and Development, Martin Vieca. But of course, throughout all our planning exercise, we have our other Vice Chancellors. With us here today is Vice Chancellor Marianne Blanc. All our Vice Chancellors are part of the planning process. Colleagues and friends coming inside us who are here with us, Dean Frank Bautista, Director Robert Ramirez. Our friends and guests from the province of Iquique, good morning to you all. The signing of the deed of donation today is another significant event in the history of the province and of the university, as this is another step to strengthen our partnership in public service and good governance. A long time ago, this was just a dream. We were just imagining things, but today we witnessed the signing of the deed of donation, and it became a reality. And of course, this could not have happened without the generosity and support of our Congresswoman Lauren Villagarda, our officials of UP who supported this project, and who gave UPV the primary responsibility and opportunity to make those dreams into reality. During the past 2 years, this has been both a blessing and a lesson for the university as it continuously endeavors to bring forth significant assistance to our beloved undertakers. Not many of you may have noticed, but since last year, we started to implement certain training programs. But this year, a lot of these activities were stalled because of the complications posed by COVID-19. The collaboration between us and Antique seeks to establish a genuine convergence between the communities present to cultivate equitable growth through science and technology and to preserve the cultural heritage of the province. You may have noticed that, not many of you may have noticed, I think even the Senator, now Congressman Ligarda, may have noticed that the name given here is UP Extension Campus. When I was at the birthday party of Governor Padiao, and on several occasions she asked me if, what is the name of this campus? I told her, and I suggested to her that the name, the proper name for this campus is UP Extension Campus. When you say UP Extension Campus, it means the entire university, not just UP. By virtue of our proximity to this site, UPP is the main implementer of the many anticipated programs that we're going to hold here. And that is why, if you look at this plan, you have there the oblation, of course, representing UP. And up there is a logo of UP Science. So it's just a manifestation that while I think UPV is going to be here most of the time, we believe that the entire UP system is also going to be welcome to do projects here in Manila. So that's why, and then one more thing that we need to understand, and the Congresswoman was always mentioning, is that the extension activities that we're planning here is mostly related to fisheries. And I think that is logical because Antique is like a strip of land. You have a mountain range, a small piece of flat lands, and then you have the sea. I think if you compare your land resources and water resources, you have a bigger water resource area. And I think that is the reason why the good congressman was focusing on fisheries. But UPV recently, during this administration, we agreed among ourselves. So the mandate of UPV is fisheries and marine sciences. Sometimes we call it aquatic sciences. So it's anything about water and livelihood related to water. Not limited to water that is out there at sea, but including water that runs from land to sea. So there is a connection between what is happening on land and what is happening at sea. And that is why all kinds of livelihood that relate to the fish that thrive on our waters, whether it's freshwater or sea, is something that falls within the ambit of UPV's mandate. So if you try to listen intently to the speech of our new congressman, he mentioned some projects that are related to sugar, some projects related to entrepreneurship, and some other projects that are not directly related to fisheries. So the reason for that is because at UP, we agreed among ourselves to embrace the entire activities that relate to fisheries. And that is not only related to the fish itself, the capture of fish, the culture of fish, but also including the processing of fish, maybe the entrepreneurship related to fish, and alternate activities that we need also to think about when we talk about the livelihood or options that we need to give to fishers and residents of coastal communities. And therefore, that is why our good dean here of the School of Technology is here with us, Abraham Bautista. Among all the deans that are present, who we have in these areas, he is the one who physically came here. Just to emphasize, I think, that he also represents UBP, not necessarily directly related to fish, but in relation to technologies that they may produce and may give benefit to fishers. Maybe not now, but later. Okay. So I hope you get the whole picture of what UBP is all about. We're not only going to be here in terms of fisheries, the programs of fisheries, but the entire set of activities that we can do in relation to our mandate. Along the way, as I was coming here, I noticed that the province is promoting tourism. And I think the mayor, Mayor Sanchez mentioned a while ago about farm-to-market roads that were supported also by the governor, congressman, and congressman. And so there's a strong push for tourism in this province. Now, for this project, while it is true that the main beneficiary will be given to the residents of Andan and the province of Antique, it is important, I think, for you to realize that speaking of tourism, in terms of tourism, it is we can promote domestic tourism, meaning movement of people among our LGUs and generating income from all of our activities ourselves. But when you talk about tourism, it's about marketing what you have here, the good things about this province, this place, activities here, including heritage agenda, as mentioned by the conversation. Two others outside of this area who can probably appreciate what is happening here, and who probably might want to stay longer to understand and to learn about this place. So I foresee that our activities here are going to be related to that across all the provinces. Our activities will eventually not only focus directly on what the town and the province needs, but will also support your agenda in terms of tourism. Because when we do activities here, primarily through training programs using this platform, we will allow people to come here. We will bring people here. And I would like to suggest maybe that you anticipate that possible event, so that you will not be shocked by the presence of other Filipinos or maybe other nationalities in this area. So that is important. I think that is what this activity is all about. Not so many people are really coming to places like this, like your town, Tanzania. Because first of all, we are living in an archipelago, so there are difficulties in coming to small places, very far-flung places like this. I would assume that if they come to these nearby areas, they will go to Boracay. But the good thing is that since we now have this campus, we think we can project your place more, we can market it more, so that we can, through our activities, support your agenda for tourism. So I would like to suggest that the local officials, maybe led by Mayor Sanchez, to start talking to your Sangguniang bayan officials, maybe your constituents, to start thinking about what you can probably do to support that agenda. we at UP Visayas are exceptionally proud to have offered several research programs, technology transfer initiatives, and entrepreneurial training programs to boost the livelihood and current status of fisher folk financially. But actually, it's not only related to fisher folks. Since last year, we started to do things related to the support given by Congresswoman Legarda. But as I said a while ago, it was just stalled because of problems related to COVID. Because also of COVID, we had to rechannel our use of funds by first preparing the materials that we will use to use this platform. So these are just but the initial activities that we did are just but the initial modes of innovation. Even with COVID-19 pandemic, the university has not ceased to develop mentoring programs for the constituents of the province. We are now in the process of developing remote learning modules that will be for the benefit of all stakeholders, from students, partner universities, and local communities. But as I said, we are going to collaborate with so many other institutions throughout the country through this platform. We hope that this will only be the start of a long and fruitful journey with the province of Antique. There are still many plans and projects in the pipeline to be realized and acted upon. These will ultimately address the development goals of the community and of the country, of the province and of the country. So that is how we work. We don't only talk of, we talk about, of course, of certain localities, but we also work in terms of how, because there are many similar localities in the country. So we always need to think about what can be done towards converging all our activities to support you, others in similar situations, and so that all of us together can support the challenges facing the country. Therefore, padayon lang kita. Padayon Antique and padayon UP Visayas. Thank you once again.
Maayad-ayad nga aga sa aton tanan. Sa ngalan ng Universidad ng Pilipinas, ipinaaabot ko po ang aming mainit at maalab na pagbati sa ating mga kaguruan, mga estudyante, mga kawani at opisyal ng UP dito sa Visayas, sa pamumuno ni Chancellor Ricardo Babaran. Dito sa makasaysayang okasyong ito, ang groundbreaking ceremony para sa Extension Campus ng UP Visayas sa lalawigan ng Antique. Maalab na pagbati at pasasalamat din po ang aming ipinaaabot sa lahat ng ating mga kasama sa proyektong ito. Ang Bautista family na nagkaloob ng lupa at ang opisina ni Deputy Speaker Loren Legarda. Si Deputy Speaker Legarda po ay isang alumna ng UP. Mainit na pagbati rin po sa ASM Francisco Construction and Development Corporation, ang kontratistang gagawa ng gusali ng UP dito sa Antique Campus. Napakalaki po ang ginagampanang papel ng mga pambansa, panlalawigan, at lalo na ang mga lokal na leader sa pagpapaunlad ng ating komunidad. Sila po ay tunay na mga katuwang ng UP. Ako po ay lubos na nagagalak at muli na naman nating kasama sa ating mga adhikaing pangkomunidad, pangkalikasan at pangkaunlaran si Representative Loren Legarda. Napakaraming beses na pong siya ay tumayo at ngayon patuloy na tumatayo bilang kampyon natin. Siya ay isang huwarang leader at lingkod bayan para sa mahalaga at di matatawarang mga hakbang na naglalayong pataasin pa ang kalidad ng edukasyon, isulong ang agham at pamamahala na nauukol sa pangangalaga sa ating kalikasan, para sa ikauunlad ng ating mga kababayan at pamayanan. Ang extension campus po na ito ay hindi maitatatag at magiging realidad kung hindi po dahil kay Deputy Speaker Loren Legarda. Siya po ang naglagay ng pondo sa General Appropriations Act upang matustusan ang pagtatayo ng campus na ito. Maraming salamat po, Deputy Speaker Loren Legarda. Isa po ang Antique sa mga lalawigang may mayabong na marine resources at isa rin itong mahalagang destinasyon na pangturismo. Ang pagkakaroon po ng UP Campus dito ay tiyak na makabubuti para sa mga mamamayan ng bayan ng Pandan, ng buong lalawigan ng Antique at maging ng buong kanlurang Kabisayaan. Nilalayon ng UP Extension Campus sa Antique na tugunan ang mga pangangailangan ng ating mga kababayan na magkaroon ng dekalidad na edukasyon. Bukod doon, inaasahan na magiging sentro ito ng pananaliksik at pagsasanay na makapagpapatapos sa mas maraming iskolar ng bayan upang maging mga profesional na maglilingkod sa lalawigan. Marami pong salamat sa inyong wagas na pagmamahal at suporta sa UP. Mabuhay ang UP Visayas, mabuhay ang mga susunod na iskolar ng bayan sa Antique Campus.